Welcome to Travel Time with Maylene. It's your girl Maylene. So today in this video, I am going to talk to you about Prime Ink orientation. I know YouTube has a lot of Prime Ink information. I decided to do the video because when I looked up some stuff and then actually come in here, there are some things that are not exactly explained, and so I wanted to explain things a little bit better than what I saw anyways. So I came last Tuesday by bus from Georgia to Springfield, Missouri, and stayed on Campus Inn. When I got to the bus station, the shuttle was there, and they came and picked me up and brought me to Campus Inn. So I'm gonna tell you, Campus Inn is what looks like an old hotel that Prime bought, which was pretty smart on their part because it really probably saved them money, and they turned it into living area for their students in orientation. Your orientation is done on Campus Inn. It's between Campus Inn and the Plaza building. When I first got here, I did not like it. It's a very old building that they tried to turn and make, decent, and it is decent, but it was just like the first day it had a little odor. I don't know what that odor was. I've seen in other videos where people talk about the same thing, but it seems like the longer you're here, I don't know if the odor goes away or you just get used to it, but then it ended up turning out not to be that bad. It's very convenient, because everything is done here. It's not like you have to go far for your orientation. So they have shuttle. The shuttle runs every day, all day. There is not a shuttle not running, and each shuttle is on its own little route. When you get here, you will get a temporary badge. The shuttle allows you to use them before 5 o'clock. After 5 o'clock, anybody with a temporary badge cannot use the shuttle. Once you get your badge, then the shuttle runs till 11 o'clock, and it goes wherever you need it to go. They feed you 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You have like a little meal card. Breakfast is $8, lunch and dinner is $10. There's a cafe at Campus Inn and there's a cafe at Prime. Both cafes do not take credit or debit card. You have to pay cash. If you go over what the meal ticket is, you have to pay cash. They are not going to take any debit or credit cards. The only thing that Prime will take is your badge, so you can charge it to the game. Other than that, everything is cash. That's it. So I'm gonna go through the first day. It's 3-day orientation. They have orientation every Monday, starting Monday and Wednesday. Monday, it'll be orientation Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then people come in on Wednesday for orientation, and it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Mondays and Wednesdays. My orientation started last Wednesday, so I got here Tuesday and got checked in, and they gave me my meal ticket. I want to say I got a meal ticket and a temporary badge, I think, the first day. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember. But anyways, so Wednesday came, and Wednesday consists of going to the orientation office filing your doing a file review, you're gonna have to fill out some paperwork. They gotta get pictures of everything, your ID, TWIC card, passport, whatever you have. That's what the orientation office does. Then after the orientation office, you do your DOT physical. Whether you have a medical card before you get here or not, they still going to do a DOT physical because they want to remain compliant with FMSCA. So no matter what, you get a detailed physical, even if you have a DOT card. When you get that DOT physical, it is a legit DOT physical, and they will send it to your, they will send your DOT physical to your DMV in whatever state that you live. So you have to carry that card because it has to match. If you get pulled over, that's what they're going to see. So it is a legit DOT physical. After you get finished with the DOT physical, then you go to the plaza and they have a tax and business creation where they talk about taxes, leasing, LLCs, all that good stuff. Very good information. Very good class. Then you go back to the building. Once you go back to the campus inn, he will be handing out packets. So there are 3 different type of packets, which every orientation person that you probably have heard have said this. You have the lime green package, which is for the students. You have purple package, which is for the company drivers, and it looks, the bags look like this. So, and then you have a black one that is for lease operators. The purple packet is company. If it's a person that's going with a trainer, or like me, I came from a different company and I'm like an AC, I'm like a main, I'm just transferring from another company, you get purple. If you're upgrading from company to lease, you get black. So that's how that work. And in here is your benefits for your health benefits and things like that, and everything else that they need to tell you about. You will have CBTs. CBTs are those death by orientation videos. Yeah, you still got to do those. It's like 68 of them. They will give you a website on where to do those. Do not do them on Driver Pulse because sometimes they don't transfer between the two, and you might do it on Driver's Pulse, but then when you go onto their website, it might still show up that you ain't done it. So I would recommend just wait until you get here and doing them when you get here. They have to be done by Thursday or the second day of midnight, or you'll be doing them Friday before you get your badge and stuff. For Thursday we had simulator lab. So simulator lab is the prime safety certified class. So it's basically your driving test. When you first get on it, if you've never done it before, you're going to get sick. I never did simulator before. I almost passed out. I got nauseous and almost passed out. It is so different. However, I feel like it's worth it. I feel like all driving schools should have a simulator lab. It allows you to experience actual events that happens on the road as a driver. I drove in the snow my first time. The girl that was with me, she had a tire blowout. She drove in the snow and just regularly. Then we had to take our test. So you get 2 tries for the test. If you fail, I have no idea what's going to happen. I passed mine, so I don't know. Everybody in my class passed, so I have no idea. Some people say that if you fail, then you go home. So I don't know. I can't answer that question. But I really did enjoy it. I recommend it. It's pretty awesome. Then we had to go to the Plaza building, and we did our hours of service training. The hours of service training is going to really talk about the PC, how to use it correctly and not misuse it, and how to verify your logs, and how to, if you have to edit logs, what you can edit, what you can't edit, you know, the whole shebang. And then that completed that day. So Friday is the day, that's the third day, is when you're getting your badge. You are signing into the truck checklist, and you're waiting to get your truck. However, sometimes there are things that hold up. For my class, all of us was held up for some reason or another. Either it was a drug test, or for me, I had to do a sleep study, and my sleep study wasn't until Monday night. If they give you the opportunity to take the sleep study early, take the sleep study early. Don't worry about the CBTs, and then finish your CBTs the next day. It is absolutely okay to do that. I didn't find out till after I had already told them I was just taking Monday. And so the sleep study is what held me up. So let's talk about the sleep study, right? So when you do your DOT physical, they, on some scale, determine if you're at risk for sleep apnea. So if you are, they recommend you get a sleep study test. Can you refuse it? I have no idea. I've heard people say that they should have refused it. I didn't refuse it because I've gained weight, you know, and so there could have been something there. So I just went ahead and took it. I passed it. However, even if you pass it and they find something, if you pass it and they don't find anything, you don't have to pay anything. If you pass it but they find you moderate, then you have to pay $500. If you don't pass it, I don't know what happens. I don't think you can refuse it. I have no idea. If you're moderate, you can refuse it. If it's severe, they're probably going to slap a CPAP on you, and you're going to have to pay for it. Unfortunate, but yes, it's a lot of money. So I passed it, and at moderate, and got to pay $500, which is crazy. But it's an actual sleep study. You have to go in, you lay down, they connect you to a whole bunch of tubes. I will post those pictures so that you can know that it's a legit sleep test. And so that was an experience I had never had before. It is hard trying to sleep with wires coming out of your head and on your chest. But it was nonetheless an experience. But I passed it, and everything's all good. So after I passed it, so I took it that Monday night, that Tuesday afternoon, I got my results. After I got my results, I took the paper over to the doctor's office, and then I left. By the time I made it back to Campus Inn, they was emailing me my DOT physical paperwork, and the orientation office was messaging me to come in to get my badge on Tuesday. Went in, got my badge. There's a list of stuff that you have to do or whatever. I checked in on the checklist for my truck. I will say by the time I made it back to my room, around about 3:30, 4 o'clock, they was telling me my truck was ready, which was pretty quick. So I left, went back to the Prime building to go and look at my truck. You have to do an inspection on the truck. You have to do an inspection through the Prime Inc. app, and you have to answer all those questions and do a thorough inspection. My inspection took an hour. I have a brand new 2026 International with only 2,000 miles on it. So that inspection was pretty long, but I did it, and I did find things wrong. So the body shop is open 24 hours. There was some confusion, right? So I'm going to explain what you are supposed to do so that you won't be in a situation like I was. I wasn't in a bad situation, but things here is kind of like you have to figure it out on your own. I was told what to do that was different from what was sent to me on my phone. So I was sent a letter saying that I had to do my inspection, explain to me how I did my inspection, but also on that paperwork it was like after you get finished doing your inspection, you come to the leasing office, sign your contract, and then you can drive off with your truck, right? So in my mind, I'm thinking I have to sign a contract, even though I'm company. I just was like, okay, maybe I have to sign. So after I did my inspection and I submitted my inspection, I was not going to move that truck. So I went back to Campus Inn. And other people were saying not to move the truck. However, that's not how it operates. So if you are leasing and you get your truck, you cannot move that truck until you sign your contract with the leasing company. If you are company, after you do your inspection, if you find something wrong with your truck, you can take it directly to the truck shop and through the inspection bay, let them know and they will fix it for you. After you do that, you can go to the next bay that you need to go to and get your geotab and and whatever else things that they tell you on the list of things to get. So that's the proper way of doing it. Mine didn't happen that way, but it's okay. After I did my inspection, I went back to the room. I messaged the lease lady that contacted me and was like, hey, I'll be there in the morning. I did find some things wrong. So she messaged me and was like, go ahead and take it to the inspection bay. I stopped by thinking I had signed a contract. She was like, oh no, you don't have to sign anything. So I was like, okay. So I went to go meet with my fleet manager. My fleet manager met with me. He gave me a list. He said, this is the things that you need before you can leave to go get a load. I was like, okay. So now I go back to my truck and crank it up and take it to the inspection bay. The issues I had was like APU, stolen codes and things like that. And then it was some other stuff that was wrong, and they fixed it. So then I had to go to the next bay to get my geotab fuses and the rivets that go on the glad hands and things like that. That literally took me all day. Not gonna lie. I think I got finished with all of that around, to me it's all day. Because after I did that, then I had to go through the drive line and pick up stuff, which is heading out, right? You have to go through the drive line to leave out of Prime and come through the drive line to come into Prime. And so I had to go to the drive line. So all of that, I think I was done with that around about 3 o'clock. And it was hot outside. It was hot. And so I was pretty wore out because I get up super early. I had forgot things, so I did not get everything done that same day. So that was Wednesday. So my fleet manager had already set me up to be available for Friday afternoon, which was fine. So then Thursday come, and I'm finishing up with other stuff like getting a plate put in for my refrigerator. I had to take it back to the shop because the APU was throwing codes. And I took it to the wash bay, and I had to go back through the drive line anyways to leave, but I needed to pick up some more stuff. I also had to go to the campus store to charge some stuff for the truck that was required for me to have before I can take a load. So that's today. That all of that last stuff happened today. Today is Thursday. And so that's how overall orientation works.